Hello, everyone. Please stay in your seats for this amazing talk that we have coming up. Don't head out just yet. I am delighted to introduce Resh Sidhu and Ben Feuerstein, the founders of Snapchat's Arcadia Creative Studio. In their presentation, Unlocking the Potential of AR, Key Principles for Success, they'll unveil their key principles for AR development on Lens Studio, backed by real-world examples of experiences that have captivated festival-goers with Live Nation, transformed fashion with Vogue, and brought wonder to Coca-Cola. Please welcome Resh and Ben. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Hey. Hi, everyone. I am Resh Sidhu. I am the Global Director of Arcadia.
And hello, everybody. I'm Ben Feuerstein. I'm Head of Innovation here at Arcadia. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're so excited to be with this incredible community at AWE.
Ben and I have actually been working together for a number of years, and he's not just head of innovation. We've worked on some of the most mind-bending and challenging augmented reality projects you can imagine. He's actually my partner in crime. And we've worked on some of the most complex projects, and he approaches it with a mix of fear, passion, and something I called AR wizardry.
I appreciate that, Resh. And Resh has been pioneering in creativity and immersive technology for over 2 decades, rightfully earning herself, at least in my book, the title of the Queen of Augmented Reality. Together, we lead Arcadia, Snapchat's in-house creative studio for developing groundbreaking augmented reality experiences.
Today, we want to talk to you about how you can unlock the potential of AR. And we want to dive into 3 things. The first is Snapchat's vision for augmented reality. The second, Ben and I want to share some of our favorite projects and case studies and some of the key learnings from those projects. And then we want to share some of our key principles for success in AR.
Let's get started, and let's talk a little bit about Snapchat's vision for augmented reality. At Snapchat, we fundamentally believe that augmented reality is changing the way that we interact with each other and the world around us. AR is enhancing everyday experiences, making them more accessible, imaginative, and immersive for all. With over 250 million people using augmented reality on Snapchat every single day, and over 6 billion, that's billion with a B, lens interactions happening on the platform daily, we are already seeing the incredible impact that augmented reality is having on the world. This isn't just a future dream, this is happening today. And we believe that once fully unleashed from the mobile phone, AR will become the lens through which we all experience the world together. But ultimately, the growth and success of augmented reality is driven by all of us in this room. A group of incredible AR makers and businesses and brands and developers and creatives. So how are we at Snapchat helping to fuel this incredible ecosystem and community? By developing net new technology, inspirational use cases, and great insights, and not hoarding them, but sharing them with this incredible community. That's what Resh and I are doing here today together, and that's exactly what Snapchat has done historically with technology like Lens Studio, the engine behind Snapchat augmented reality. Lens Studio is an incredible tool for creating augmented reality experiences, and it allows you to publish those experiences, of course, to Snapchat, but also to other applications, websites, our AR glasses, spectacles, and now even AR mirrors like the ones that you see outside. And all of this is done through the power of Camera Kit. Today, more than 300,000 AR developers are bringing their creativity and business to life using Lens Studio.
And Arcadia is also one of those 300,000 developer teams. Our mission is simple. We want to demonstrate the true potential of augmented reality by harnessing the power of Snap AR. And our extensive experience working with Lens Studio, combine that with our passion for pushing the limits of what's possible with AR, has really allowed us to develop some groundbreaking AR experiences with amazing partners like Live Nation, Disney, and Coca-Cola. And it's actually these projects that we'd love to share with you today. So let's start with one of my favorites, music and Live Nation. Now, you've all been to music festivals. Ben and I have been to a ton of them together, and they are a lot of fun. But a surprising amount of time is taken up finding your way around, tracking down your friends, and also figuring out which stage you need to be at for visiting your favorite artist. And if you guys are anything like me, you know you're going to get lost because you lose cell service when you need it the most. These were just some of the challenges that Live Nation came to us with last year.
So how did we solve for these challenges and help fans get lost in the music as opposed to the crowd? We developed the AR Compass, a 3D AR map of the festival grounds that allowed festival goers to easily navigate to stages and other points of interest using a heads-up mobile display. We also incorporated real-time schedules so you knew who was playing when, and we introduced probably my favorite tool, AR Friend Finder, an amazing wayfinding tool to help you find your lost friends in the crowd. We faced, of course, some significant challenges when developing augmented reality for the music festival environment. Connectivity was often limited, and light environments varied massively, which meant that we needed to minimize lens file sizes, get strategic about pulling assets from the cloud, and of course, optimize our experience for those low-light environments. To do this, we pre-cached lenses, we limited real-time updates in the lenses to low-latency GPS pings, and we also built a self-confined timecode in the lens so that we could change the in-lens lighting as day turned to night.
And we learned so much from this first collaboration with Live Nation. And it leads us to our first key takeaway, and that is working really closely with your partners. And bear in mind, I've said partners, not clients, because it's in true partnership that you can really understand the key business opportunity, right? We don't just scratch the surface of what's possible, we dig deeper. And we dig deeper to uncover the true essence of the opportunity. That's the real brief. That way, you can find ways in which AR can help improve the customer experience.
The second learning, which is going to sound obvious but is hard to do in practice, is to test in the real environment that you're building for. Resh and I learned this firsthand when we showed up to Las Vegas at EDC to start testing our AR Compass. What we noticed is that people were stopping and looking down at the experience as opposed to up at the festival. Our entire goal for augmented reality at music festivals was to help people feel connected to the festival experience as opposed to distract them from it. So we knew we needed to address this. So how did we do that? We built a heads-up display that took all of the graphical elements from the experience and actually put them on the horizon of the festival itself. That way, as you're navigating the festival, you can actually look up through your phone and take in all the sights and sounds of the amazing music festival that you're at. AR is built for the real world and all of its variability. But oftentimes, as developers, we get stuck behind computers and we forget to test out in the real world. What we've learned through so many of our projects and what we apply now to everything that we do is that you have to test these experiences in the environment that they're built for.
It's so true. There's absolutely nothing like testing in the real world, or as I say, breaking your designs in the real world. And Ben, do you even remember when we had to even use our own Friend Finder tool to help find one of our own Arcadians at EDC?
Resh, when you say one of our own Arcadians, I think you mean you.
Okay, moving on. Leads us to our third takeaway, and that is innovation can also be scaled at speed. So as AR developers, we really need to empower ourselves and our teams to take the time to implement learnings and optimize these amazing AR experiences. AR is not a one-hit wonder. That's exactly what we were able to do with Live Nation. We built new experiences after EDC and updated the AR Compass. We took it to Lollapalooza in Chicago and ACL in Austin. And each time we iterated the AR Compass and the Friend Finder tool based on our learnings and customer feedback. Then, we didn't just stop there. We worked closely with our Snap AR developer community to scale out the AR Compass and optimize the experience for a range of different festivals. We're so happy to share that we're working with development teams like Go Spooky and Play to bring the AR Compass to 16 of the world's biggest festivals. And next year, we want to go to even more.
So next up, I want to bring you all the way from the neon carnival of EDC to the most magical place on Earth. We're thrilled to share our latest collaboration with Disney called The Wonder of Friendship. To celebrate 100 years of Disney, we've launched an incredible 6-room, 5-city experiential exhibit. This exhibit takes augmented reality and intertwines it with the actual exhibit itself, creating an incredible experience that brings the magic of Disney to life in an entirely new way.
The project really began when Disney approached us with a simple ask. Could we make their traveling exhibit more immersive, more interactive, and more magical with AR? Obviously, we said yes. So with that in mind, we set out to create a suite of AR experiences in each of the rooms that would bring to life not only the much-loved characters, but allow you to step into those very cherished stories in a way that you have never done before. But here's the thing. Creating wonder means actually going beyond what people expect. And this was particularly challenging in a live exhibit style environment. So to make AR feel really believable with the physical space, we needed to give the camera a deep understanding of where objects in that space would be. Now, sounds relatively easy if you can scan the 3D space ahead of time and build your beautiful AR experience on top of it. But we didn't have that luxury. The space would actually only be fully constructed days, and in this scenario, hours before the exhibit opened to the public.
So how did we account for that challenge? We built our 3D objects and animations by approximating the space of the exhibit. Then, in the days and hours leading up to the exhibit, when the space was fully constructed, we had a team on the ground to capture detailed 3D mesh scans of every single room. With those scans, we could then take and reorient the lens elements that we had already built and place them in very specific locations to precisely map to the physical experience of the exhibit itself. With our machine learning, LiDAR, and mesh matching techniques, as well as new capabilities from Lens Studio like ray tracing, which allows you to create lifelike lighting environments, we were able to create an experience that felt truly immersive and both extended and enhanced the physical exhibit.
And moving on to my favorite room, my kids love The Lion King. So when it came to crafting a believable jungle in AR, we wanted this to be really truthfully faithful to Pride Land. Our team balanced everything from light and vegetation to wildlife, creating an immersive experience. Everything from the leaves to the rocks, we scrutinized every aspect of the environment. And our efforts even extended to the behavior of the wildlife, from the exotic butterflies that floated around you to the scrumdiddlyumptious bugs that you could eat. But here was the thing, despite our efforts, it looked amazing, but it just didn't feel right. And we couldn't figure out why. So we pulled our lens team and our design team together, and we did a study to try to figure out what was missing. And after careful analysis, we realized it was the God rays, or the crepuscular rays. There's a word you don't hear all the time. We call it God rays. These are the beautiful rays of sunlight that stream through the gaps in a real jungle. They hit the foliage and they create that dramatic real-life effect. We didn't have that, so the jungle didn't feel real. So now we knew what we needed to fix. We created a believable God ray effect. How did we do that? we used a combination of light and shadow and ray tracing to really mimic the way the light hit the foliage. This close attention to detail, to how light interacts with the environment, and then how you move through that, really enabled us to create a captivating experience that brought Pride Land to life in a way that you've never seen before.
So as we all know, building augmented reality is very difficult. And I would say that building augmented reality for a live exhibit format is even more challenging. There's so many things that you have to be aware of. And candidly, there's so many things that we learned through this process. The first thing that we learned, which is one of my favorites, is that innovation doesn't always need to mean new technology. Process innovation can drive results as well. And being nimble with your process can be the difference between game-changing or good AR and game-changing AR. The second learning is the importance of sweating the small stuff. When you're creating a true-to-life and believable environment, it's those tiny details that add up to a truly immersive experience.
Ben and I do a lot of sweating the small stuff, I can tell you, right? So from music to magic, if those experiences weren't cool enough, what about the baddest, coolest vending machine in the world? You all know about the humble vending machine, right? It's the fabric of our everyday lives. But for a brand like Coca-Cola, it actually represents a unique and enormous opportunity to bring a little more real magic to the world. So together with Coca-Cola, we saw an opportunity to reimagine the humble vending machine in a way that they had never done and a way to connect with audiences. We transformed the vending machine from a transactional experience into an experiential one with the integration of Snap AR. This is the world's first vending machine powered by Snap. So now you can do more than just order an ice-cold Coke, which is absolutely awesome. But you can try on custom Coke digital merch. You can play a multiplayer Bubble Beats game from Coke Studio. It's truly magical. It's playful, it's engaging, and it's intuitive.
So Resh makes this sound easy. But of course, this was a technically complex project that required bringing augmented reality into an entirely new device. So how did we do that? We used Camera Kit, connected to a custom screen and camera rig to give the vending machine new life. The challenge then was creating an AR interface that was intuitive and easy to use. So to do this, we dove deep with our dev team to focus in on two core things. The first being user experience design, and the second being gesture tracking. So for user experience design, what we knew is that clear instructions and visual feedback as you were using the machine was critical to understanding how to actually use it. To nail this, we did extensive testing, as Resh can account to, where we implemented various design iterations and watched how people interacted with them.
Yeah, we're like experts in bubble creation. If anyone wants to know about that, come catch us later.
Bubbles and liquid and all the things that are hard to do in AR. For gesture tracking, the machine had to be seamlessly responsive to a person's movement as they stood in front of it. So to achieve this, we use advanced tracking technology that is available in Lens Studio to be able to track somebody's arm, their wrist, their hands, and their fingers accurately. We then worked very hard to refine these tracking models to ensure that anyone using the machine would be able to feel like they were in control of the experience that they were having with it. When I talked earlier about AR being unleashed from the confines of the mobile phone, this is exactly the type of experience that I meant.
Yeah, and actually in the previous Fireside Chat, Rory talked about it too. We were behind stage nodding our heads saying, yeah, absolutely, we have an example to show about that. You know what, listening to Ben reminds me of those last-minute bug-fixing to-the-wire changes. It happens on every single project. It's happened on every one of our projects. You have to get comfortable with testing in real time and figuring out solutions that don't go to plan. In fact, Ben, I hate to do this to you, but you have to tell everybody about the suspender belt bug that happened on this project.
You like to keep me on my toes. So as we work on AR experiences, things don't always go right, as everybody in this room is probably aware of. And this is an example of one of those times. We were hours before this vending machine was supposed to go live, and we were doing all of our final checks. We were trying all the AR experiences, and we were focusing in on the AR try-on of the jacket. And all of a sudden, as we were playing through different states, this rather awkwardly placed animation of this, what I can only say is a belt, appeared as we were going through the experience. This is obviously not supposed to be there. So what we had to do was work with our team to figure out, OK, how can we problem solve this? How can we get rid of that before this thing goes live? And what we realized was that the fastest way to fix the experience was to actually revert back to an older version of our AR experience. As AR developers, that is incredibly painful for us because we lost a lot of the new things. But it's what we had to do to be nimble and reactive in the moment to get this experience live. So we did that, and of course, nobody knew about the suspender bug.
Apart from now, everybody in the audience knows about the suspender belt bug,
true.
so shh, keep it quiet. So this leads us to our first key learning on the Coca-Cola project, and honestly, it's all about partnership. Making sure that your partner ambition meets yours is really important. Actually, our partnership with Coca-Cola reset the standard for collaborations. From the jump, we were jamming ideas together, standing in front of our Snap AR mirror and asking, what if? This is the level of collaboration that you need. And it took us away from that client-supplier relationship that is so easy to fall into and made us true collaborators. The second learning was that working in a truly agile methodology, we were able to rapidly prototype and develop the vending machine in groundbreaking speed. In fact, we had a working prototype of this vending machine in under 2 months from our first conversation with the client. And that was only made possible by not only following our process, but doing it at lightning speed. You know, all of these projects that we've shared, every time we work with partners like this, we learn something new. And we take those learnings and they inform our own Arcadia principles. And it's those principles we want to share with you today. In fact, it's the first time we're doing this, so we're so excited to take you through these. The first principle, it's easy to say, but really difficult to stick to. Find solutions for problems, not the other way around. So just like we did with Live Nation, start from what the festival's goers needed, helped us to get to innovative solutions. I think it's easy to fall into the trap of getting excited by a technology or some new AR tech, and then going off to look for a problem that it can solve. This actually distracts from trying to solve some real-world problems, and you miss the opportunity. So often, when we start a project, we will ask ourselves, should this, or why does this even exist in AR?
Our second principle is something that I've learned directly from Resh: art and tech in equal measures. Our Disney project is a great example of this in action. But to create groundbreaking, problem-solving augmented reality, you have to live at the nexus of creative and technology. Great technology alone is not enough. It's technology married with human-centric design and incredible storytelling that truly moves people. Technology should be the invisible magic behind an experience, and often, as developers, we can over-prioritize it. I know I do sometimes.
Yeah, I love that. Every time Ben says that, it just gives me full-body chills. Great technology alone is not enough. Like, it's such a good one. And our third principle, use process as your platform to really elevate the work through a streamlined workflow. Look, I know, talking about process is not the most thrilling topic at an AR conference. But honestly, we truly believe that it's our meticulous attention and adherence to our process that has enabled us to constantly deliver exceptional work in AR. In fact, all of these projects that we've shared, from Live Nation to Disney to Coca-Cola, we follow our own 5-step process, and we leverage an agile methodology for project management. So find what works for you, define your process, but continue to improve on it.
Our fourth principle, easier done than said. Put action over words. Overcomplicating things and moving slowly can stifle creativity. Therefore, we prioritize moving at speed in everything that we do. We're so eager to take our AR experiences and put them out into the world so we can start observing how people are interacting with them. AR is so dependent on the environment that you're building it for. So as a creative team, as a development team, you don't really know much about your project and about what you've made until you take it out into that environment. We learned this firsthand with our Live Nation experience. You've got to get going, you've got to get better, and you've got to learn fast.
Yeah, I love that one. All right, and our fifth and final principle is a personal favorite of mine, and arguably what I believe is the most important one. Diversity rules. Embrace it. What do we mean by that? Well, a diverse team, equal by design, will absolutely unlock greatness for you. Diverse mindsets are key to solving some of these most complex problems. And great talent inspires, it shares, it doesn't covet ideas. We support each other, and that applies to both our team within Snap, our partners, but also the AR community.
So with that, and in closing, I'd like to share one final thought. We're not just dreaming of a future where augmented reality enhances the way that we interact with each other and the world. We're actively building it today. But we're not building it alone. We're building it with an entire community. And at Snapchat, we are committed to supporting that community. And that's exactly why we're here today, sharing some of our work, sharing some of our learnings. We really hope that it's resonated with you all.
And here's the good thing. This is not the end. It's just the beginning. In fact, we'd love you to join our Snap AR Masterclass. We've launched it just this week. You could scan this code to show your interest and find out more. We're going to be delivering a brand new suite of expert-led courses where people like Ben and I will show you how to build world-class AR. And we truly believe that together we can create a world where every surface and every screen is really a canvas for creativity and imagination. So we wholeheartedly thank you for joining us today. And please come say hi to Ben and I. We'll be hanging out in the Snap Lounge all day. And if you have any questions, we'd love to hear them. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.